And before we dive into this tale of metal bending, mayhem, and mutant philosophy, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Trust me, it's less painful than getting caught of Magneto's crosshairs. Um, have you ever wondered whether the so-called villains in superhero stories might sometimes have a point? And Magneto, that helmet-wearing master of magnetism from the X-Men, seems like the perfect candidate for this debate. Is he the hero we refuse to see, or just a a guy with a dramatic flair for tossing around tanks and monologues? The story of Magneto and Professor X is more than just a battle between two superpowered frenemies. Um, their beliefs echo real world clashes over justice and equality, much like the historic differences between Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. Magneto's approach isn't as simple as bad guy does bad things. He's a survivor, a fighter, and unwavering in defending mutant rights, even if it sometimes means going to extremes. Um, Back in the early days, Magneto was painted as a classic supervillain, a little too eager to rant and wreak havoc. But years of grappling with the X-Men and the tragedies Nietenkind faced forced him to evolve. He became complicated, sometimes even heroic, and the idea that Magneto was right caught on, especially after Cyclops embraced it post Avengers versus X-Men. These days, Magneto finds himself dealing with new struggles, including a mysterious illness that leaves him in a wheelchair, echoing Xavier's own journey. With all that swirling metallic background noise, let's look at 9 key moments when Magneto was clearly in the right and more than a little convincing. First up, God loves, man kills. The story hits painfully close to home, with mutants hunted and persecuted simply for existing. After 2 mutant children are murdered, Magneto joins forces with the X-Men to stop a maniac named Stryker from using Xavier to wipe out mutants. And even Xavier, in like the eternal optimist, nearly loses faith in humanity. For once, Magneto's uncompromising stance feels like the only thing standing between survival and extinction. Jump to the Age of Apocalypse. Here, a ripple in time erases Xavier, leaving Magneto to lead the X-Men in his place against an even greater threat. He fights not to dominate, but to save everyone, mutants and humans alike, from annihilation. Uh, his leadership proves he's more than just radical rhetoric. And now imagine Magneto and Professor X running a nation together. Welcome to House of X. They set aside their long-standing feud to build a future for mutants on Krakoa. Living Island. Magneto holsters his usual violence, and for the first time, their visions align. It almost makes you think family reunions could work if only someone could control Wolverine. And then there's Axis, where Magneto isn't interested in subtlety. He delivers swift, ruthless justice to the hateful Red Skull in a hands-on way, rarely seen from him. And it's brutal, but sometimes the only way to stop monsters is to fight like one yourself. Magneto's rule over Genosha is remembered as both a dream and a nightmare. Seizing a mutant homeland only to witness a horrifying genocide, he's proven right about the dangers mutants face, even in their own sanctuary. His trial becomes a moment of soul searching as he faces the world's judgment, not just as an enemy, but as a survivor. He chooses to answer for his history, um, hoping for some kind of peace with his children and maybe just maybe himself. When acts of vengeance breaks out, Magneto's enemies want him on their side. Instead, he dishes out personal payback, trapping the Red Skull for his atrocities. Forget capes and costumes. Magneto makes poetic justice look easy. The House of M storyline flips the world on its head with mutants on top, humans on the bottom. Magneto's vision, at least in this reality, gets its utopia, D-City. For once his radical dreams become reality, though we all know nothing in comics lasts forever. Um, so this is Secret Wars. Secret Wars puts Magneto alongside Marvel's most famous heroes. Even Captain America, King of Virtue and Valor, welcomes Magneto as an ally when push comes to shove. That stamp of approval says a lot. That has a big feature that never made it. Is to wrap it all up, Magneto's life is a giant swirling question mark about justice, legacy, and what it really takes to build a safer world. And if you think about it, Magneto might be the only guy who never loses his keys, especially when they're made of metal. Um, with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.